Welcome to The Drive, your commute-sized podcast powered by the West Des Moines Chamber of Commerce and ITA Group. In the time it takes to get across the metro, you'll get fresh insights from Iowa's top leaders, CEOs, innovators, and changemakers who are shaping the future of business. I'm your host, Catherine Harrington, and each week we'll explore leadership, loyalty, and the big ideas that keep our region moving forward. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here with us on the Drive podcast, West Des Moines Chamber of Commerce combined with ITA Group. Today, we are here with Casey Ducker, the President and Chief Operating Officer with Sammons Financial Group. So, Casey, thank you for joining us today.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Happy 2026.
Happy 2026.
Crazy.
Fast and Furious, off to a great start.
Yeah, so. Here we are.
Yeah.
We're actually at Infinite Resources today and Amplified. So I'm so excited that we're partnering with them on this podcast going forward. So Casey, tell us about Sammons Financial Group and all the great things you do for a lot of people in the whole world, I think, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So Sammons Financial Group is a financial service firm. We've been here in West Des Moines headquarters for about 25 years.
Yay, thank you.
Yes. We have about 2,600 employees across the country. About 1,000 of them are here in central Iowa.
Okay.
And so we focus really kind of life retirement industry. So life insurance, annuities, wealth management are our primary core functions. We've rapidly grown over that time period. We go to market as Midland National and North American, two firms that we go, over 120 years old for both of those firms.
Wow.
And we continue to diversify. So we, about 10 years ago, our Sammons Institutional Group got into more of the retirement solutions.
Okay.
And then wealth management, it's a newer entry for us as well. So diversify and strengthen the core at the same time has been our focus.
Now you sell those products through broker dealers then? Is that
It's a multitude of different channels.
Okay.
So, with our different business units, they kind of concentrate on the channels that they operate. So independent, some direct, through broker dealers, banks,
banks
independent advisors. So really a lot of different multi-channel approach.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And then tell us about the wealth management division. I'm curious to hear about that.
Yeah, it's something I joined Sammons almost 4 years ago to help start. And
nice.
So, and so this is our first year that we've kind of brought it in as a core line for us. We've been kind of incubating and growing it over time. It's 3 different firms that we have that really operate autonomously as a company and goes to market as their own company. So North Rock, which is in Minneapolis, is RA, independent advisory firm.
Cool. North Rock, okay.
North Rock, holistic wealth management from all ends, tax, legal, financial, so really a holistic approach. Okay. We also have Beacon Capital Management, which is really more of a kind of an outsourced investment for advisors, and so it's a managed fund that they can participate into, and then we have WealthCare outside on the East Coast in Richmond that operates there. So a lot of different ways that we hit clients where they're at, where they need, and provide the financial services for them.
Are you thinking of acquiring more wealth management organizations around the nation? Is
that
kind of a plan then?
We feel really good about the 3 companies we have as core platforms, so we'll continue to grow those. Now, we'll continue to be opportunistic of having other advisors join those firms and kind of joining forces, if you will. So we'll look for more of those mergers along the way.
Okay, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's exciting.
I love it. So you have a lot of employees that you're leading all over the country. As president and CEO, how do you balance strategy, operations, culture across all of your organizations?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's one that I think about quite a bit, and we think about as a leadership team. Balance, I think, sometimes gets confused with like a 50-50 balance. Then there's no such thing in life, right? It's more flow. There's going to be peaks, there's going to be valleys, there's going to be more mid. So how do you have a pulse on where the organization is at any given time? Where do you need to push? Where do you need to pull? And then really kind of outside in, what's going on around you? And sometimes that pushes strategy versus execution versus balance, right, at the end of the day. Yeah. So I think it's kind of keeping the eyes and ears open, having a pulse on what's going on in the organization, where you're competing at, and then being adaptive to the environment and staying there. And so, as I think about our employees are employee owners, which is unique. Right. And so I think it's huge for us. I believe, a competitive advantage.
Of course.
So I think balance really is a responsibility for all of us. How do we kind of stay motivated, stay engaged, stay driven at any given day? And so I think it's a collective responsibility.
But I love that everybody has that self-interest to succeed because it helps them build that wealth, right?
We're all in it together.
You're all in it together, yeah.
So when we win together, we win together. So I think it's a great motivation and great push for all of us.
So what are some things that you have done to help build culture within your organization, programs or the like? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Culture is a tough thing because it's a little intangible, right? It's like the unwritten rules, the unwritten stories that kind of happen that kind of shape how you think about each other, how you make decisions.
So true, yeah.
It's sometimes tough because it's not a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And so we've been fortunate. We have a very vibrant, healthy, strong culture. It's been something that's been our kind of a guiding, navigating force for our growth over the time, and we believe it will continue to be that way. And so I don't think one can really drive culture. I think you have to evolve culture over time. And so, we put a lot of things over the time. From employee ownership and ownership mindset, what that means and what the responsibility is for our employees. And so we continue to reinforce that. We have a great onboarding programming that we offer new employees as they come in, leader kind of effectiveness and development we offer our employees as well. And a host of other things, from total rewards to healthy benefits to other elements that we kind of put in as well. So I think it's a collection of elements we do from a culture. But at the end of the day, I think we focus on two things. How do we continue to grow our company, because we're all in it together and we all get rewarded by the success. And at the end of the day, we have a responsibility to pass this employee ownership down to the next generation, the next workers. And so how do you continue that culture that's great today, that's going to be great tomorrow? So,
wow,
yeah.
That's incredible. I love that so much. And you mentioned you work with ITA Group. Do they help you with some of that culture building as well?
ITA helps us quite a bit on kind of more the agent advisor and some of the incentives and some of the planning that we do around travel and some of those things. So they help a lot in that front.
Love it. Well, that's great. I love that you're a customer of ITA Group. That's wonderful. So tell us about your leadership and your leadership philosophy. You're leading this massive organization. Tell us what that means to you and your philosophy.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to boil it down to one thing, right?
It's many things.
Yeah, and so from my role, I have about 1,300 employees that come into our department, and that there's three different departments. There's HR, there's IT, and what we call shared services. And so it's a lot of the support functions for our business units to help them achieve their business growth and our company growth. And so my leadership philosophy really is, how do I partner and understand where the business is going and making sure we're meeting them where they need to be met at. So planning ahead, be able to execute and drive. Their goals are my goals. And so that kind of philosophy embeds into my leadership, and I think in our team as well. Other elements from philosophy is really, this is throughout my career, I think driving for results that matter. People get focused on results, which is great, but are you driving to the right results that really matter to your clients, to your partners, to your customers, to your agents? So really driving for results that really matter.
Yeah, and how do you specify that? Do you know what I mean?
I do.
Because there's so many results. You can measure so many different things.
You can.
But how do you figure out what's the most important thing to measure?
And I do think that's something that has to evolve over time, because you're never going to get it right, and it's going to change. And that's just business right now. Great book, if anyone ever wants to read it there, Measure What Matters. I read it a long time ago. Kind of a great kind of insight of that question, right?
Okay.
I think it is a little bit of having a curious nature of asking questions from those business leaders, those partners, those customers, what matters to you, and trying to centralize those into some themes and kind of coalescing around a theme. And at times, maybe putting a couple metrics against the wall and seeing if that really does stick at the end of the day.
Trying a
right.
Bit. Yeah.
And I think for measurements for us, it really is, there are measures that are point in time, but there's also some trend lines. Are we improving over time? Less about the number, more are we getting better? And so trying to find that right balance.
I love that. Sounds like you're measuring great things.
Yeah.
Really great things. So AI, technology, how are you using AI and technology for your business growth?
AI has come up a couple times in different conversations. I think we're all a little bit, fatigued a little bit from the AI conversation, but it's here, right? I mean, I think there's no kind of hiding from that, nor should we. So from an AI perspective, like a lot of other kind of disruptive technology, it's not new. It's a collection of things that have continued to mature over time. Yeah. It's kind of come into a spot where it's become mainstream, if you will. Yeah. Now the push really is for us, and I think everyone in our industry and really in business, is how do you get the value or the return out of AI? There's a lot of hype, there's a lot of conversation, there's a lot of promises. Now we're ready to turn that clock into let's realize and capture some of that value. So the last couple of years, our CIO, Kelly Coomer, who does a fantastic job kind of driving the organization from a technology perspective, has laid the foundation. Great governance, great tooling. We've given those tools to our employees to get comfortable with using that in their kind of everyday work, if you will. Nice. Now I think we're kind of focusing on how do you look at something that's going to be more end-to-end or workflow that's really going to drive value at the end of the day, whether that's speed, whether that's scaling the organization, really ensuring that we're getting and capturing the value. So we have teams focused on that, our business is focused on that, and so I'm bullish on where it goes, but we're really focused on really being pragmatic, not AI for AI's sake, but AI for business value.
Yeah, and excelling in so many different ways. Have you used any AI for culture building at all?
We have, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Interesting.
Just a thought?
It's maybe less culture building, but more culture support, I guess I'd say. So we use ChatGPT in our organization for kind of a AI assistant. We opened that up a year or so ago.
For all employees?
We opened it up but we also specifically put in for open enrollment. So benefits time of having a virtual advisor that you could ask questions. If I did this, if I contribute here, what would that mean? Nice. What if I did this? And so we saw a huge uptake from our employees, kind of after hours and weekends, really leveraging a tool like that, because that's when people usually fill out their benefits.
Yeah, exactly.
So their spouse and them could kind of walk through it. So it was a great help for our employees to really figure out what's best for their families.
Wow, I love that. Yeah, true, because you're usually asking your aunts and your uncles and everybody else about those questions, right?
Or HR.
Or HR too, yes, but you're asking your family members, what's the best things I should do?
Yeah, it's kind of on their own time.
Yeah, I love that. So let's talk about community impact. Sammons Financial Group is known as an incredible employer in the city of West Des Moines, and you also give a lot back to the community. So talk about your community impact goals and some things that you really like to do.
Yeah, and community impact is something that's very important from us, from kind of our enterprise level into our financial group. It has been historically. It's always been in our DNA. And it's something everyone can get pretty excited about. So I think we look at ourselves as stewards of the communities we serve more than just tenants that we're just kind of operating in there. So how do we contribute to economics, job stability, growth, culture, values? And I think we put our actions to where our words are too. So over $1 million of dollars into Des Moines area last year, 10,000 of volunteer hours from employees into it, and so there's a lot of focus on that, and rightfully so. So we take a really kind of top-down and bottom-up approach to community, because we feel like it's all of our responsibilities. So we earmark a certain amount that we partner with those organizations and social service agencies to ensure we're contributing to the right spots. But we also do a fun thing where we give our employees, we do it by floors, and we give them a certain allocation, saying, where do you want to put money? What's important to you? And so they go through a process of identifying those, giving those, and then those organizations come to our office. We have a little bit of a roadshow, if you will. So
fun.
It's really important for us, and we do take that responsibility serious.
Do you have pillars that guide you in those decision making?
Yeah, we have about 6 or 7 kind of core focuses that we focus on.
That's a lot. That's great.
We do, and then we don't have hard targets. We kind of look at the year that's in front of us. Food insecurity last year and this year is a big driver. So are we helping the people in the communities we operate with the needs they have for today?
Wow, thank you for that. That's huge. $1 million last year. That's major. And you're a President's Council member with the Chamber.
Yes.
You're a sponsor of our annual dinner coming up on February 26th. Shameless plug. I don't know if this is going to air before or after that, but anyway. But so just you do a lot for the community. Casey's also a board member of the
thank you.
West Des Moines Chamber. So we appreciate you so much. So quick fire round. Here we are on the drive. It's about what drives you as a leader, but also. What was your first car? I don't know. What was your first car, Casey? Any fun memories or any fun memories with having to do with automobiles?
I am not a car person, so I'll just say that my dad was a very car person. So my first car, was a nice car. It was a sports car. And my mom was not excited about that move.
Going too fast.
Well, I think she was right. I think I crashed it in 3 months.
Oh,
and
no.
So my memory is fleeting of the first car. So it was a great experience, but it did not last very long. No. So take what lesson you want
but
from
you're
that.
okay. You're safe. Even
I am.
The car.
A lesson learned, I guess. Yes.
Maybe didn't do very well. Oh, my gosh. What is one word that your team would describe your leadership style? I know I am summing up a lot of things in one words, but one word that I think describes you as a leader. I guess it would depend
on who you ask. Any given day, right? I'd say I'd hope, driven and compassion.
Driven. We're on the drive. So
I think driven, and I think hopefully my leadership and actions drive it's driving for the financial, but also the culture and the people. And I think you can be driven for both.
We have a lot of young professionals within the chamber and that follow us. We have the largest young professional group in the state of Iowa. Mm-hmm. What is any leadership advice that you would give to a young leader that wants to be a Casey Decker someday? Well,
first advice, don't be Casey Decker. I think the advice I've was told early in my career, and I've followed myself, and it served me. It's really being kind of open-minded to new opportunities and think about your career more as a lattice than a ladder. I think a lot of people go in and think about what's the next level, how do I get from A to Z? And I've kind of looked at kind of going as a lattice through different experiences. I've worked in different functions from sales, IT, marketing, operations, different industries. Wow. I look at it as collecting experiences. Skills are important, but experiences I think are more. So how do you collect a variety of different experiences and kind of be comfortable being uncomfortable? So jumping into something that you're not perfectly ready for is okay, as long as you can keep the head above the water and paddle through. So be open to those challenges, be open to something that feels different for yourself, and kind of collect those experiences.
Do you remember a particular instance where you jumped into something that you were like, I don't know about this very much, but I'm going to do it, and I'm going to roll up my sleeves and learn it? And
my entire career. So yeah, I did a couple stops where I was in kind of more of an operational role, and the next day I was in charge of recruiting and training agents. And so I was in South Dakota on stage in front of a couple hundred agents talking about their contracts. So that was like an adjustment. I ran a healthcare company that I didn't have a background in healthcare or pharmacy, and so that was a learn on the job kind of moment too. And so I've had a number of those that, in hindsight, were fantastic experiences, and they kind of rounded me out to look at things at a different angle. But having that still core values and common approach has helped me kind of navigate along the way.
Amazing. Who has been the biggest influence in your life from a leadership perspective?
Yeah. It's a tough one because there's been so many. I've been fortunate. We have a great CEO in S. Von Dinshaw, and I've learned a lot from him in the time that I've been at Sammons. I've reported to 4 other CEOs, and they all have different kind of backgrounds. And so I've collected from all those a great mentor and skill sets and really shaping my leadership. But I think if I had to boil it down to one, it would be my mom. And I think her experience. She went late in life to get her law degree in her 40s. She was, president of Mercy Hospital and the Catholic Charity. And so seeing her navigate again different industries, different challenges, lifelong learner, really kind of shaped my own kind of path too.
Did she go to Drake as well for her law degree?
She did.
Oh,
she
look
did.
at that.
Yeah.
Oh,
she
my
did.
gosh.
Yeah.
And Casey went to Drake,
I went
too,
to my
so-
undergrad at Drake as well.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
That is incredible. Love that story. And your mom, just what a big success that she is in this community. So
Absolutely.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I love this. Well, thank you so much, Casey, for joining us
Absolutely.
on The Drive.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching this. Casey Decker, President and Chief Operating Officer with Sammons Financial Group. So thank you all for watching us. We appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.